Hey y'all, what's up? It's time for He's the DJ, She's the Actress. I'm John Quick, and
I'm
she's
Bobby Baker.
absolutely. Let's go.
DJ John Quick, Bobby Baker, DJ John Quick, Bobby Baker.
He's the DJ, she's the actress. He's the DJ, she's the actress. He's the DJ, she's the actress. Actress.
What up? What up? What's good, y'all? Welcome to our show. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. It's called He's the DJ, She's the Actress. I'm John Quick, and of course, that's Bobby Baker. And first of all, Bobby, I'm going to let the people know before we get started, like, we're going to have a lot of fun in here. We don't want no stiffs coming on here,
Absolutely.
trying to tell us how to act. We when we get together, we act a fool. So basically,
You already know.
nothing's going to change. I remember I had a Omega Psi Phi fraternity. She's a lovely sister of Delta Sigma Theta. So, we had that whole Coleman love thing going on. But, Bobby, what I want to do, I want to tell the people really when this podcast started in my head. So what happened was,
Tell him.
Bobby was down in New Orleans shooting. I can't remember what you were shooting in New Orleans.
It's called Tell Me Your Secrets.
Yes.
Tell Me Your Secrets, yeah.
Absolutely. Has that came out yet? I hope I didn't miss it.
No, it comes out February 19th. It took 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's 2 years ago. So, I'm going down. I'm in New Orleans for the Omega Psi Phi, conclave. So sis was down there. I said, yo, we got to link up. So we're linking up. We're talking. And I swear, this girl had me in stitches. And, she'll tell you, I've always encouraged her with her art because she's one of the best actresses I've ever seen live. And I just think she's special. But at the same time, she has this whole comedic side to her that I don't think it's being utilized enough. So, right then and there, I knew I wanted to do something with you, but I wasn't sure. So here we are.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. And you know how I feel. Thank you for always encouraging me and keeping me accountable.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
now, before
that.
we get started, we get into this. Please let the people know all the projects that you have going on right now. Okay.
So right now, I am doing I've got Tyler Perry's Ruthless, and that is it's coming to BET soon. I also have a show called David Makes Man that I'm currently filming now down in Florida. It is a beautiful show. Produced by Terrell Alvin McCraney, same dude who did Moonlight. He got an Oscar for it.
Dope.
And Tell Me Your Secrets, which was supposed to come out in 2019, but delay is not denial. It's coming out in February, this month, the month that we're in.
Nice.
Next week. It went from like dry as a bone to 3 things in 1 year. So praise God.
Yeah, you blowing up, girl. You blowing up like a Puff Daddy single in the 90s.
Listen.
I'm just saying. So listen, let's get into our first segment, which is aptly called File This Under. And we're going to leave that to y'all in terms of what we're going to file it under. All right. So we want to hear from y'all in the comments. So let's get to our first contestant. His name is Little Uzi Vert, and for whatever reason, I guess he felt like he wanted to be a member of the Avengers. So I'm just gonna play the video.
It's actually in the middle. It's John in the middle. I just got a long bar in it because I just got it pierced and the swelling. When the swelling go down, I get a short bar so it won't move. I keep talking about this off. I still got a long bar in it so it can move because it's swelling. And when it go down, you're gonna be right there.
I can't. So, sis, what you think about Little Uzi's accessories?
All right. First of all, the reason why I feel comfortable talking about this dude is have you done the thing with his name, John? Have you done the thing with his name?
Nah.
Say his name fast.
Louis Vert. Louis.
No, don't stop. Don't stop in between. Just say it all the way through.
Louis Vert.
What do you hear? What do you hear?
Oh my
You want me to do
God.
it? You want me to do it?
Yes.
Lucifer.
Lucifer. Oh my God. You nuts.
I usually don't talk about people, but he's the enemy. He's the enemy. You know, we're gonna file this under people who your kids gonna point at in public, and you need to just let them. That's who we're gonna file this under. And I'm gonna tell you why, because clearly he doesn't have anybody in his life to like tell him the truth. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have anybody that he's listening to. Everybody's a hater. So he's gone and he's done this thing, you know? And so now he for the kids. He for the kids. You just got to let the kids get at him. I'm telling you, if my son had seen him in the grocery store, them fingers would have popped out of that mouth and he would have been on it. He would have been on it. And I would have just let him. I would have just let him, because Lucifer needs somebody to tell him the truth and what's really going on.
So you know what? I agree with you, especially with the point, you know, he doesn't have anybody in his corner. He obviously has a bunch of yes men in his corner right now who wouldn't tell him the truth. Like, he literally put a price on his head. Like, literally. And
that's such a great point.
And you know,
that's such a great point.
You know, all these rappers, you know, little rappers run out here to talk about keeping it real and staying in the hood. I hope he does not make the poor decision to go back to the hood with that little ornament hanging from his head like he's Vision from the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? WandaVision comes on Fridays on Disney Plus. All right. So you're not in that show.
My girl Tiana Paris is in it.
Yeah.
Tune in.
Tiana's the bomb. I love Tiana. She started the show. You know, that's a whole other subject right there. But man, I mean, it's sad, you know, and I also feel like that's someone who doesn't have a positive, real male role model in his life. Because, you know, my dad would have looked at me and been like, you about to change your dresses. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't live here.
Right.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Right.
Crazy. So we're gonna file that. Well, let's file out under
it really is.
Friendless people. Friendless people.
Friendless people. Friendless people. Let's
exactly. Start. Our next contestant is, it might have been my favorite video of the week.
I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
we're trying to. Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that.
He made the proclamation as legal counsel that he was not a cat. That was.
I am not a cat. I am not a cat.
That was superb, man. Like,
look,
I mean, I've seen videos that make me scream, but
I was crying.
What was your first thoughts? Yeah, I was gonna say, what was your first thoughts when you saw this?
Okay, my first thought was, I now have 2 questions I need to ask before I hire somebody as my attorney. Number 1, have you made enough money to get your own computer and not share with your little girl? Because that's how this happened.
Right.
That's how this happened. His little girl was on his computer. So I'm gonna need you to have won enough cases as to where you got your own. Because what you're not gonna do, you're not gonna write the notes about my case on a pink Kindle and think you about to
not the pink Kindle.
Your case. off. No, that's not what we're not about to do. And furthermore, I need to know, if you were to be in this situation, why do you think you are prepared to move forward? Because, dude, you're not. You're not prepared to move. Actually, you're not. Actually, you're not prepared to move forward, my guy. Like, you a whole cat. So you really about to sit there and represent me as a cat? You are a cat.
Yo.
Why you think that's okay? Why you feel like you okay to move forward?
It was the odds that got me.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if it had moved forward and he would have got heated? Can you imagine what that cat would have looked like in the heated conversation?
Yo, the pause when it came up. It would have been ugly. It would have been ugly. It would have been ugly, man. So yeah, that was, I honestly, I don't really have much to say on that. I mean, I just laugh so hard every time I see that video, man. It just gets me. But so we're gonna follow under what? We're gonna follow
under broke lawyers.
Yep,
broke lawyers.
That sounds good to me. File that under broke counsel. All right. So we had the whole thing go down with the Gorilla Glue girl, and her trying to find someone who could get this glue out of her wig or whatever. And so anyway, we had a great ending, I think. Check it out.
Incredible.
Now I wish I'd have waited for my sister to cut my ponytail off.
Right. You were in pain though, you had to.
But I mean,
extensions are easy.
Yeah, but not for 6 weeks.
We didn't have to start from zero at least.
How do you feel now that this whole ordeal is basically over?
Over.
First off, she worried about a ponytail. Yo,
Come on.
was glued
that
together.
same ponytail that caused you so much turmoil? That same ponytail that was the culprit for all of this chaos and confusion?
Yeah, listen.
That's the ponytail you want, mama?
That's the ponytail. She was like broke. She really looked upset. Did you have to cut off my ponytail? Like, chick, you had like,
you know what?
She had hair like a Ken doll. Come on. Come on. Are you serious? Like, your hair was
I'm gonna need her to be more appreciative when
Exactly.
it's all over with. Like, I'm gonna need you to be like more grateful for the fact that that man came and did you a solid and he got your hair off.
Matter of fact,
for
shout
free,
out to Black Excellence. Shout out to Black Excellence because he came up with his own chemical compound to, dissolve Gorilla Glue. Like that's like finding the cure for Superman with kryptonite. Like, real talk, like he gets
clearly
right over here. But
clearly.
Yeah. So but you know what, Bobby?
Clearly.
Maybe it was the anesthesia. She was a little groggy. So maybe her inner thoughts, maybe she didn't really want them to come out, but they came out. When she started reaching for that ponytail and what now?
No, I see you trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong.
Why
because she had the level of desperation to use Gorilla Glue in the first place. So that lets me know the level of commitment and obsession that she has with her hair. It's real. It was real before and after. But I applaud us for really coming to her aid and really getting invested in this story. Like, people could have easily like pointed a finger and judged, and somebody, not me, but somebody could have been like, see, that's why you need to watch commercials, because if you watch commercials, you would know what Gorilla Glue do. But you want to fast forward through the commercials, and now you don't know.
Yeah, that's that DVR
that's
stuff.
not me say that. Somebody else said that.
That's that DVR.
We really can't. Right. That's that on demand.
Yeah,
that's that on demand.
Yeah.
Nah, sis, watch them ads.
So what we gonna
you can know what these products be doing.
We're gonna file this under what?
Ooh, we're gonna file this. Ingrates who need to watch more commercials because clearly they don't read.
Yeah, true. All right. So this last one for this segment, we got, you know what? I just honestly, this is like the chocolate Wonder Woman. She's one of your sorors from the Virgin Islands. You know what I'm saying? So she did her thing with this impeachment trial. Check it out.
The truth is usually seen and rarely heard. Truth is truth, whether denied or not. And the truth is, President Trump had spent months calling his supporters to a march on a specific day, at a specific time, in specific places to stop the certification. And leading up to the event, there were hundreds of posts online showing that his supporters took this as a call to arms to attack the Capitol.
Listen, did she put it down, sis?
She put it all the way down. She
Absolutely.
buried it.
Absolutely, man. And it's crazy that with all that information that's out there that they so eloquently put together, the impeachment managers, that they're getting pushback from some of these just disgusting Republicans who still want to ride Donald Trump's, coattails because they know that's where most of their base is. And
yeah,
it's just sad. It's just sad. It's just sad.
It's very sad. It's very sad. And I honestly, I'm concerned because you see the kind of work to expose the truth, to bring about the truth. And if this doesn't end well, what was it all for?
Exactly.
You know?
And
what was it all for?
The fact that there's been like minimal like jail time for any of these insurrectionists is just baffling, because if they look like us and they had rolled up in that Capitol, they would have got mowed down.
Listen,
the National Guard would have been there immediately. It's crazy.
Right. I'm annoyed with old boy getting organic food in jail.
Oh, don't even get me started with that. That's can you imagine some brother talking about, yo, I'm vegan, so y'all gonna have to y'all be like, yo, you gonna eat whatever we serve you, that's it. Get back in there, man. Like that was just crazy. So
this is all making everything very clear though. So no one can be confused. No one can be taken by surprise. You know what it is. You see what it is. Now act accordingly. That's all we can do.
It's literally two different Americas. And if this doesn't tell you that, I don't know what will. Like, it's just been, I don't know, just disgusting to watch. I'm like, y'all cannot be serious. So I'm going to be interested to see how this all ends. But I don't know. I it's funny. You would think this would be a slam dunk, but I don't know, sis. I don't know. If this man can't get impeached for this, then it's open open season on the government.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what surprises me the most, because they have their own butts that they need to cover, but
absolutely.
They may not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. It's pretty disgusting. So we have our next guest coming up, Victorious, but I don't see him backstage now. But I do see. Oh, here he goes. So, sis, let the people know who we're about to talk to right now. Let them know.
All right, I got you. All right, so a native Brooklynite, Victorious DaCosta, has dedicated his life to healing his community. In conjunction with the CUNY Research Foundation, he served in an educational and mentoring capacity on New York Rikers Island Correctional Facility. Victorious provided both artistic and material support to the ACLU's campaign against racial profiling. His continued work in the realm of social justice earned him several invitations to the prestigious Brooklyn Friends School, where he held workshops with Quaker students on privilege, whistleblowing, and safe and effective protests. Today, this former DJ is a proud executive producer of Yusuf Hawkins' Storm Over Brooklyn, an HBO documentary. Well, Victorious to the show.
What up?
Yo.
Yo, what up, bro?
How's the mic sound?
You sound good, bro. Sound good. You sound good. First of all,
happy to be here.
No doubt. Thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I remember meeting you a long time ago as DJs. You remember? That's a while back. Yeah, that's a while back, man.
Yeah.
So
You've been nice. Like you're one of the best DJs.
I appreciate it.
In these parts, you've been nice.
Hold on, Bobby. I did not tell him to say that. I didn't pay him.
Okay.
So I'm just letting you know.
Okay. Your music. I remember I used to be at the Vault.
Yes, the Vault.
Yeah. I was good too. I was good too.
No doubt, brother.
And now we're doing film.
That's good. You know what? It's funny. That was actually gonna be my second question, but since we're on it, how did you transition from being a pretty dope DJ to this executive film producer?
Well, so one thing I want to say is producer, not executive producer. It's producer is a little bit, high on that chain. But I mean, I've really been filming all my life, at least as long as I had a little camera back in the day, mini DV, tape. And I was traveling around with different artists. So the first artist I was going around with was Joel Ortiz. And part of my job on the team was to film everything. And so, on to Shots Timberline, just around my friends, I was always shooting, but I didn't really know I was documenting things. I was just shooting just to, be shooting, put it under the bed or something like that. And I stopped doing music about 10 years ago. And honestly, like doing film is like the natural progression, for me as a DJ, as an engineer. Like if you know how to engineer music, you can engineer film. So or you can edit film. So it was just like natural to me. Because if you're doing music, you're doing videos, right? Do music videos.
Absolutely. At least you have it in your mind. You know what I mean? Like I get it. Right. Now, let me ask you this, which is kind of like this was gonna be my first question. Why this particular subject matter with this, with Yusef Hawkins? Yeah.
So one, I didn't choose the subject. I want to say that Yusef Hawkins obviously has been in all of our minds. I was 12, 6th grade when it happened, but as far as a film, January 25th, 2016, I got an inbox in my email from a guy named Charles Darby. Charles, one-liner said, I was told to contact you about making a documentary. And that's all he said. I hit him up and answer your email from people you don't know.
Exactly.
HBO sometimes. But hit him up. He told me he was Yusef Hawkins' best friend back in the day. And he was from Flatbush. And he told me Yusef was also from Flatbush. And, I'm from Flatbush. And I could be considered to be like a neighborhood nationalist. And so I just knew that this was an important story. And it was like a no-brainer. Yusef Hawkins. And I couldn't believe someone hit me with that, because at that point, I was still working on my first film as a director. But someone named Nigel actually on Instagram told Charles, reach out to Victorious. He does film, and that was that.
Dope. That's dope, bro. Bobby, I know you want to jump in here.
I do. I do. Talk to me about, okay. So one of the things that became very real to me, especially earlier in the pandemic, when everybody became a social activist, right?
Right.
And a lot of people, myself included, started out on a path that honestly we could not maintain. I could not keep working at that clip. I could not wake up, cry, call, cry again, call. How do you work on something like this and still keep your sanity, still stay even keeled, still, keep your joy, but you're a big part of your life is this kind of content?
Thanks for asking, first of all, because it does wear down on you. Personally, I don't think that I retained a lot of joy, and I can say members of my team would say the same. I mean, working on a film for a few years of this magnitude, especially when we had the HBO deal, it's a lot of pressure, and that's with any subject matter, right? And it compounds with something like Yusef Hawkins. You're dealing with a dead child, right? It's a dead child that's murdered as a boy so long ago, and you have this responsibility to his family and to the community, and it's essentially it's almost an unsolved murder case too, right? So you got to watch your back and all that. So it really was. Well, while we were in it, the metaphorical foxhole, we just were in it, right? And there were almost like no days off, honestly. And the decompression comes later, when the film is done, is out, and now we get to relax a little bit, right? And every time we do an interview, we jump back in it and we just go to the next one. But it's just very important. I mean, I think therapy is very important. If you can do that, if you had that time during that process, I think the documentary filmmakers definitely need to make sure that, like you said, you have to take care of yourself. So yeah, and boundaries. Like honestly, boundaries. Like if you're doing a story that's so somber and so deep, you got to create your emotional boundaries. People, whether it be the interview subjects or even people in your life, you just got to keep certain things at bay so you're able to deal with the subject at hand.
Got you. Yeah. So listen, one of the
Thank you
questions
for
I
that
wanted
honesty.
to ask you. Yeah, absolutely. What I want to ask you: were you guys, your crew, ever concerned with the just the fear of opening up old wounds in New York City?
Yeah, I mean, So I'm from a neighborhood, from the hood. So definitely when we set out, and so I just want to say the director of the film is Musa Ali, and who came aboard in 2017. And so as a producer, my job is to serve the director. He's a storyteller, and whatever story he wants to tell, that's what we're going to do, right? So once Musa Ali, says, well, this is the story we want to tell, this is how deep we want to go, then indeed we worry about ripping wounds. I mean, the first wound you worry about ripping the family, right? So part of the job of the producer is finding a lot of people who knew Youssef, or people who might have worked in the court system, and people who might have been witnesses, right? There was a good book by John DeSantis called "For the Color of His Skin." So Charles and I, we went through the book, and we cleaned all of these names, gave it to Musa Ali. He read the book, got some more names and some more themes. And it's just, again, there's no fear, right? And even if there was fear, there's no fear. You have to understand that even though, my neighborhood, predominantly Black neighborhood, you have like a Bensonhurst, predominantly Italian, at that time, but it's just a dangerous neighborhood like any other, right? So you have a tale of two Brooklyns. You have East New York and Bensonhurst, but it's still a story about a murder of someone, and no one really is in prison for that murder, right? And so we are opening up a lot of different things, and there were some people who didn't want to speak to us, people who might have been a little poke their chest out a little bit more than others, some that might have called later on and said they didn't want to be affiliated with it, but I think who was in the film, we 100% appreciate them. Like Youssef's friend Luther, who was there that night, he didn't have to say yes. A couple of Youssef's friends declined. So yeah, we thought about it, but at the end of the day, it's like that's what we do. We go in.
No, that's dope, man. That's dope. Sis, you got anything else for him?
Thank you, because I know
Exactly.
I know it's not easy to do this, but it's very necessary, and somebody's got to take this thing by the reins. So thank you for being one of those people.
Absolutely. Oh, before you go, I have to talk about this real quick. Okay. Were you as shocked as I was when you found out old dude from, I'm going with this, bro, because he's a coworker of mine. When you found out, homeboy from Hot 97 was involved with this somehow, I had no idea. Patty Duke.
Yeah, we didn't know. I mean, we knew about Pascal Rauchi. We knew about that person. A whole lot of footage I didn't see, about that person, but we had no idea it was Patty Duke because, as you know, Patty Duke doesn't really show his face like that. I've been in New York all my life, and you don't know what he looks like. And I guess now we know why. So yeah, it was definitely a shock. Definitely a shock. And the power of documentary,
Yeah, because he got let go. And it was crazy because, I could honestly say I didn't know him that well, but the times that I did, talk to him at the job and everything, I would have never have thought, never in a million years. But you never know, man. You never know. But anyway, my brother, it's been a pleasure and an honor to have you. And tell the people where they can still see, Youssef Hawkins storm over Brooklyn.
HBO Max, baby. HBO Max. Wherever you can find HBO, whether it be your Hulu, you can find HBO. You're gonna find this. I think it's premiering in Brazil on the 16th of this month. So that's the thing. That's one to give a little shout out to Javon Frank, who is the other producer in the film. So that's that.
Absolutely, brother. Well, again, it was a pleasure having you on He's
Thank
the
you.
DJ, She's the Actress. And yo, man, stay in touch, man. 'Cause I know you got. Matter of fact, before you go, you got anything else coming down the line?
The Four Tops documentary.
What?
Yeah. So we'll come back talk about that, right?
Oh, bro, yeah, you will be back on this show for that. Matter of fact, we're gonna try to have you on right before the premiere so we can, hype it up with you. All right.
Cool. Thank you.
All right,
See
my brother.
later.
We'll talk to you later. No doubt. All right. That was Victorious. I love his name, Victorious.
Oh my gosh, you better speak it.
Dope name. That's a dope name.
You better speak it.
So listen, the next segment we have, it's called What's on Your Mind, Bruh? And you're gonna ask me what's on my mind. No, you ask me what's on my mind, bruh, and then I ask you what's up with you, sis. That's how it goes. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna start with you.
Start with me. No. I'm gonna start with you. I will start with you.
You wanna start with me? Okay. Well, you gotta say.
I'll start with you. All right. What's on your mind, bruh?
I'm gonna tell you what's on my mind. All this GOAT talk. There's a lot of GOAT talk going on, and GOAT, the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And after Tom Brady won his 100th Super Bowl, I think he's the greatest athlete of all time. I push back on it. I think he's a great leader. I think he might be the greatest leader the NFL has ever seen. I think he's a great culture changer. But great athlete, no. You can't run a 6'8" 40 and be the greatest athlete of all time. Nah. You know what I'm saying? So that dude is like, he's slew-footed. He can't run it.
Oh, God.
That's making up rules. Remember, they made up rules for him. You can't hit nobody in the leg, hit the quarterback in the leg, or you could get a penalty. That's the Tom Brady rule. You know what I'm saying? So he's not the GOAT.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but now you see, that's why I'm here, sis. I got you.
Yes.
I got you. So
appreciate it. Now I'm act like I know what I'm talking about.
To me, we're talking GOATs in terms of athletes. There's three people that immediately come to mind.
Give it to
Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
Michael Jordan.
Absolutely.
And Serena Williams.
Let's go.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a fourth one. I'm gonna give you LeBron James too. I'm gonna give you, because those four to me exemplify greatness. And they all did it their own way.
Yes.
But it's Black excellence. It's just pure, unadulterated greatness. So those four to me are GOATs.
Yes.
Right? So that's what's been on my mind. I like Tom Brady. I don't have no problem with him. He's supported to the homeboy Randy Moss, West Virginia, shout out. But he is not the GOAT when it comes to athletes. Sorry. So anyway, what's up with you, sis?
I agree. All right. I'm gonna tell you what's been on my mind. All right. So we're in a whole panini, right? And people getting sick and people dying and all these things, right? And you get to a point where, or I was getting to a point, I'm not gonna speak for anybody else. I was getting to a point where I was trying to be grateful, right? Just for the simple things, just for my essentials, just for the needs being met, right? Because there's so many people out here going through some real stuff. So why complain? Why ask for anything else? But then something about that stopped sitting right with me, because there's something in my life that I want, that I feel like would make my life better, but I haven't been asking for it, because I've been looking at my life against the backdrop of other people's tragedy. And I think I can't speak for anybody else, but I know I have to remember for myself that you can totally be sympathetic, empathetic, whatever, to other people's tragedies, but also aware and fully present in your blessings.
Yes.
And to not ask for what you feel like you need is really an insult to what I believe is a God who can meet everybody's needs. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
God is good. Absolutely. Amen. Let the church say amen.
And who can handle everything. So I had to just stop for a second. Hey. But I had to just, I had to stop doing that. I had to stop doing that for a second. Like, because it's it's not cool. Like, I think we have to find, I can stop saying we. I think I am getting to a point now where I'm just now finding the balance and realizing that it is completely possible to be grateful.
Yes.
And, and aware, but also own everything that you are and that you want and that you need. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, that actually did, sis. That actually did.
All right.
And guess what, sis?
What we
It's
got?
time for another esteemed guest.
Woo-woo!
Yeah, we got my girl, Deja Vu, coming in the building. Tell the people about Deja Vu, sis.
Deja Vu. All right. Deja Vu Park is the inspirational voice that brings real talk solutions to her audiences by empowering women with the tools to tap into their frequency. And let me tell you about frequency. Finding your passion and responding to your dreams. She uses the power of the microphone to connect with listeners on her daily radio programs on ABC Radio, Sirius XM, and WBLS New York, and continues her message of motivation off air with workshops and seminars. I should add that she is a 2015 DJ John Quick Heroine of Excellence Award honoree. Let's welcome Deja Vu to the show.
Absolutely.
Welcome, Queen.
I just so happen to have the fans and my family and God, of course, and my husband, and of course, John Quick.
Oh my God, Dave! First of all, it's so good to see you. I miss you so much. For those who don't know, I was a part of the Mix It Six DJ crew or whatever, and every few weeks I would come up and hang out with Deja Vu, and we would kick it. She would be the host. She was the DJ and I was the mixer. Yeah, that's how it went. And and Deja would tell you, the same way I used to tell you, Bobby. I used to always tell Deja about her greatness. Did I not, Deja?
You did. You always are pouring into people. And I think that's an amazing trait that you have. You recognize women. You don't have a lot of men who are holding award shows for women on an annual basis and just highlighting these women's achievements and everything. And I think that's an amazing thing. So for real, thank you.
Just to clarify everything, Bobby, I did not tell her to say that. All right, there was no payment involved.
I heard him say that with the previous guest. I think he did kind of send me an email, Bobby, and he said, "Dave,
look, right? Text me later, Deja. Tell me all about it."
Listen, this is gonna be funny. This is gonna be funny because Deja is normally the interviewer, not the interviewee.
I know, right?
So we're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna enjoy telling her to stop asking questions because I'm asking the questions. We got some fun with it. But I love her. Y'all know, people know I love Deja. But anyway, Deja, tell the people now. First of all, you're on ABC Radio, you're on Sirius XM, you're on WBLS. Mm-hmm. 2 questions. Number one. When do you sleep? And number 2, what gave you that first inkling that you knew you wanted to have a career in radio?
I sleep in little bits and spurts when I can. Okay.
I believe it.
Look, before I went on the air today, I caught a quick nap about 30 minutes, 2:15 to 2:40, 45 or whatever. And then I jumped up real quick. But yeah, I've been broadcasting my entire life since I was 8. 8 is when I say that was my defining point when I got my first microphone.
Oh, no.
Yes. And my recorder. Now I record people in back then they called them tape recorders.
Yeah, tape recorders. Yes. I remember. Bobby may not remember. I remember.
People.
No, I remember.
So that was when I remember when I decided, or I thought that I wanted to. Well, I first got the inkling for it, but I didn't really know that I wanted to do radio or broadcast per se until I was like 12, because I was like, I was going to be an oncologist, and my mother, knowing
Wow.
her child, and knew that she was not strong in science and math, and so she guided me into the path where I was strong.
Okay.
English literature. Speaking, you have such a great speaking voice, Deja.
Yes.
Why don't you focus on that? Because I was already emceeing all the things and stuff. And so then I started saying, well, and I was already interviewing people. So I was like, okay, this could be possible. So then I started, zoning in on the news reporters and of course Oprah. And then that's kind of where I got the bug.
That's dope. Bobby, you want to jump in here?
I've got a question for you, Deja.
Okay.
I'm listening to you, and I listen to other radio personalities, and one thing that I'm always struck by is you all's consistency. And I just wonder sometimes, what is the key, the secret, the trick to always being consistent? Because even when you're having a bad day, you always have to sound the same, because we're always depending on you to be that constant for us, really. Right. What is the secret? Because I feel like there is a life lesson in there that other people can glean from that if you tell us what it is.
Sure,
look, we listening too. We want to hear this to get closer to the computer.
No, it's really the trick is, and I teach my people this when I'm talking about radio and broadcasting, we are actors and actresses. And to your point, people are depending on us. So we have to hold some of our things to the side occasionally. But now I find that because we are more transparent as people, that we can be transparent as announcers as well. On radio, TV, you can't do that. News, you really can't break, right? But radio,
Right.
because we become your friends and your companions, you're listening to us while you're cooking, you're chilling, we're telling you stories, and you begin to understand, girl, I had this crazy day. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I need you to give me the positive energy because I am not feeling it right now. Y'all help me out. And then that brings the listener in as a part of the experience with you. Let me call Deja. Deja, are you all right, girl? Because I understand if you want me to come and do so and so. And then they wrap in with you, and that builds that friendship, that loyalty. And you are then getting over your issue or working through it because you're talking. So they're being therapeutic. It's therapy for you as well.
Okay.
And the listeners. But we are, I think, outside of that, though, we do have to maintain that we are actors and actresses. We have people who need us. So yes, we can say, have y'all ever had such and such happen? I remember that happened to me too. And you can wrap your story into it, make it a fictionalized version of whatever you may be going on. Put it as a question. Have y'all ever had somebody break into your car and do so and so? My friend had that happen. What did you do? And then you get all the answers and resources.
Oh wow.
That's
very
dope.
Amazing, yes,
that's an amazing
it is.
answer.
And the breaking into the car thing happened to my girlfriend, but she put it out on the air. And because those are her friends and listeners, they caught the person. I know that car is right in my apartment complex. Yes, ma'am.
That's crazy.
What?
That is crazy.
Wow.
So Dej, and one thing I love about you, like you definitely speak up for your sister girls. And I want to know from you, from a personal standpoint, like, how different is it for a woman to navigate through these radio industry streets as opposed to a male?
Talk about it.
You gonna spill some tea?
When I first got in the business, which was only like about 5 years ago, because I just turned 20.
You're an overnight sensation. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. No, but it's very challenging for a woman. When I first got in, there were not female program directors in the urban market. There were very few, and there was no organization or anything, so I couldn't find anybody. And when I finally went to one of the conventions, and I met Helen Little, who later would become my boss, but she was like the only female program director that I had actually met in person. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was just kind of stalking her, behind the scenes and following her career trajectory, because I had no one to model myself after. My first mentor in the business was, one of them was an African-American man, and another was a Caucasian woman who was a hippie, chick, whatever. Loved her, but she didn't have that experience as an African American woman to tell me about things. And it was very challenging on my come up because people would look at you differently and treat you differently, make you go do the menial tasks. And when I say that sounds very cliche, but it was real. It was what was happening. However, now we're starting to see an awakening again, where women are getting put into certain positions and are forming their own companies. And I think we have a broader spectrum of opportunity for us because we're not so reliant on people doing the discovering for us. We're in because of technology's advances, we can take things to the next level on our own without having to be quote unquote discovered or given the title. Does that make sense?
Dope.
Makes perfect sense.
That's a very satisfying answer. So I was telling Bobby, like, one of the funniest things, like, well, first of all, when I'm in an Uber and they listen to WBLS, I always thank them, and then they ask me. For whatever reason, ends up I let them know I'm on WBLS. And you know what the first person they always ask me about? Do you know Deja Vu? Is she really like that? Is she really? I was like, yep. And I tell them the same story I always tell you. 9 times out of 10, you say my entire name. Superhero DJ John Quick. I'm like, how do you do that every time?
Exactly. That's how you gotta say it.
Yeah. So like you've always, been very near and dear to my heart. But Bobby, I know you got another question, because like she says, she's literally an actress as well.
No, I love that.
Bobby, teach me.
No, it made perfect sense when you said that, though. It made perfect sense when you said that. And I just admire the fact that, but you do it daily, which is quite a feat. You mentioned the difficulties that you had early on in your career in just having to climb up the ladder despite challenges, especially for males. And you're an attractive woman. How do you?
Oh Lord, I wish you hadn't said that. Yeah, oh gosh. Forget it now.
Get it. I want you to talk a little bit about what would you say to women who have to remain friendly, because your industry is also about chemistry and being open. Right. And one thing that's very difficult is to be able to shut somebody down, get them right, but also maintain chemistry that is very necessary. Talk to me and other women about the skills that you've learned and how to do that.
I've learned I'm a straight no chaser person. I'm very direct. Yes. And I just am who I am, because I've learned that if you don't speak up for yourself and everything. I was just talking to Vivica today, name drop. Hi Vivica, how are you? No, but she said the same thing. She said you have to speak up for yourself. And to your point, that's what you have to do. If someone is crossing that boundary, hey, listen, I don't feel comfortable with that. And I'm not joking. Okay, I'm serious. You can keep the smile going, but no, you can pull the side. Listen, I don't get down like that. So I'm not a drinker or whatever. So somebody might come up and try and do some drink stuff. Listen, I can't take shots like that because that's not what I do. Now, if you want to bring me some espresso shots, we can do that and make it on the air. If someone tries to,
some ginger,
exactly. But dealing with the male genre, the male species, the humans, the men. No, if you're dealing with them in business and everything too, and you don't want to come across as that B word, because that's what they try and label you as, but you have to be firm about it. And once you are, they begin to respect you. But if you're wishy-washy on it, they're not going to respect you. But I had to put my foot down several times because people have tried me. They've tried me, girl. And because I was young when I got into the business. That's what I want to know. What'd you say?
I said, who is trying you? You don't play. I know that's
you're trying to dish.
Listen, but here's the deal. See, when I got into business, I wasn't legally able to drink yet. That's how young I was when I got in. So because I came up kind of fast, I was assistant programming and program director over people who were old enough to be my parents in some areas. And it was kind of like, listen, this is what we're going to be doing. I don't do that. Wow. You have to send it in if you want days off, if you want this is how it goes. You don't tell me how to do that. And we have to have those one-on-one things. But that also was a learning lesson for me in learning that as I'm growing as a professional back then, And even still now, you want to learn to be able to speak to people the right way. So whereas before I might have cursed you out, I took a couple of leadership classes and business classes, but this is the homework that folks don't want to do. If you're going to be a leader, you have to be able to lead people. You need to know that you can't talk to everyone the same way. I can't be as direct. I can still be direct, but I have to put a little softness on it when I talk to this particular person. And so
Absolutely.
I had to learn that after a couple of bumps where I got into it with a couple of my coworkers, one of my DJs, and I'll never forget him. He's like, Days, you can't talk to me like that. And I'm like, yes, I can, because I'm the mom. And I had to come back and apologize because that was childish. And I had to go and learn and take some workshops and get my books and everything together so that I can have that and command that respect. Now, as far as my sister girls are concerned, you know, this industry, they breed us to try and go against one another because whoever is the hottest, newest thing is usually the one that's going to come up and try and take your job or whatever. But I have to realize this, and I think a lot of people need to realize, and not just this industry, but all, whatever is for you is for you. If you work to the tune of excellence, you do what you have to do, you're going to succeed anyway, whether they let you go or not. But you can be open and you don't have to be afraid to share. And that's another lesson that I had to learn. And I'm still kind of protective of some things because you're like, okay, if I tell this person too much, they can take my job, you know, but you don't want to be that way because when I was coming up, someone shared with me, someone locked me in the production room and stayed with me until I learned how to cut and produce my own commercials without having to have someone do it for me. Someone opened the mic and taught me how to open the mic and checked me. So therefore, I feel like I have a responsibility back for the next person. What if they give that person my job? Well, if they do, then guess what? God has something else on the way for you. So I think it's a matter of learning who you are, being confident in that, being a leader, and knowing that what's for you is for you.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
feel like I should be
Well
standing up
said.
and just clapping. That was
Very well said.
Listen, there's so many things, there's so many lessons I've learned. I mean, I think that because I started going on the path of learning and doing the life coaching, it really helped me grow and develop as a personality and as a business leader because and it prepares you for certain things in life. When I started getting my coaching license, I got fired. That's when I got fired from iHeartRadio, which wasn't even called iHeart back then. That's how long ago it was. But Power 105.1, I got fired. And I'm like, yo, I didn't do anything to anybody. My numbers were good, all this stuff.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Right.
But we'll leave that alone. But go ahead.
Right. But here's the deal. This is what happens in this industry.
Yeah.
Superhero DJ John Quick.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, you know what, Jay? I always think when things like that happen, it's like it's just God opening. It's going to open up another door for something even better. That's how I look at it.
That's what happens. But you have to be able to brace yourself for it. So because I had a little bit of cushioning and I had learned to look at some things objectively, okay, well, I know that this was not about me. This was about some personal stuff. Although it hurt, it still burned inside of me, but I was able to process it, right? So be able to process it, my friend.
Absolutely. No, I'm good money. I'm good money. You know, it's all love. But Days, you know, first of all, it's always a pleasure to just see you, to talk to you. You always bring a smile to my face. You bring a smile to all your listeners' face. I even see my sis Bobby over here. She's smiling. You got everybody smiling. That's what you do. And we appreciate that. So for the people out there who don't know, just give them a reminder where they can listen to you at. And any projects you get going
me on air at WBLS 107.5, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the Deja Vu show, syndicated nationally in 20 markets. Praise Jesus. Woo, woo. You can listen to that. It's
all right.
Time. You can hear me on Sirius XM on the weekends. And Monday through Friday, you can hear me announcing It's Live with Kelly and Ryan. Boom.
What? But listen, that syndication thing, I talked that into existence for you.
You did.
Remember, I kept saying it. And so I'm going to need you to do some talking for me.
Listen, some major things are going to be happening. Let's pour some stuff good in there. Some major things. People are going to call you. And don't forget just to continue to promote.
Yes,
right? And what you're doing right now. This shows your skills, your talents, everything that you have. And you have such a vast network.
Yeah. I'm blessed.
I promise you.
And I'm blessed. And I'm very grateful. You know what I'm saying? For especially the experience working alongside you. You taught me how to be a radio professional. I can honestly say that. There's a difference. And it's funny. I laugh because I hear some of the DJs, oh, if I was on the radio, I'd be playing this, I'd be playing that. I'm looking at them like, no, you wouldn't. They like
No,
playing
you
the club. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different, honey. A little bit different. But anyway,
Exactly.
Dave, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. I know my sis does as well. And,
Absolutely.
we look forward to you just continue to blow up like a Puff Daddy single in the 90s.
And do I have to wear a shiny suit though? That's the question.
Oh God! Look! I'm just glad we got away without you trying to bust a rhyme. We good.
Yo, I can spit some lyrics.
Oh, no.
Get it.
Don't fear it. Come on, stop what?
Goodbye. Love you, sis. Talk to you later. Bye. Oh my God. Yo, listen.
Man.
Let me get even with you again. Look, I look so inferior to you right now. Let me get even with you.
Come on, here we go.
No, we just mixed it up. You see how I moved over there? See that?
Yeah, I see you.
Yo, so listen, Bob, we've had two really dope guests today, man. So
indeed, we have.
I'm just feeling so happy about this show right now. And before we get out of here, we both would like to share something in the segment we call Good News.
Good news.
So what's your good news, Bobby?
Well, my good news is, and I talked about it when we first started in the beginning, but my good news is that Tell Me Your Secrets comes on next week.
Yes, yes.
I'm really happy about that. There was a long time where we didn't know whether or not it would come on at all, and Amazon Prime finally picked it up. So February 19th is when it comes on.
Awesome. That is so awesome. We will all be tuning in or else. But my good news is,
right.
My good news is that, as I was kind of alluding to, my show Afro Flavor Radio got dropped from WBLS, despite being number one in the market for 6 months in its time slot, 25 to 54. But that's radio, and I feel grateful that they gave me a chance. But the good news is we landed on Scratch Vision Radio, which is they average 20,000 listeners an hour, which is actually more than what I was getting on BLS, which is wow. But digital, that seems to be the way to go right now, digital.
Yeah.
And I want to give a big shout out to my man, DJ Scratch, one of my best friends, just a good dude. And it's wild. Like, he was like, he's still like my DJ idol. Like, I think he's the GOAT in terms of DJs. So to be working alongside him and, working on his network, it's an honor, and we're excited to see where this Afro Flavor Radio thing goes. So,
congratulations. You deserve it.
I appreciate it. We just grinding out here. We just grinding.
Hey.
So now we're about to get out of here. Got our final word coming up. I'll let you go first, sis. What's the final word for you?
Wait, hold on. Wait, no, you go first while I plug up my computer. Look.
Look, that's hilarious.
Sorry.
Well, my final word is, number one, I thank everybody who tuned in, who supports, the show. He's the DJ, she's the actress. And my final word is just about supporting Black business and how important it is that we do that, how much economic power that we have. And I just want us to just, despite these pandemic times, just to remain vigilant, and when and if you can, always support Black business, because as Nelly once said, we all we got, and that's nothing more, no more truer words have been said. So just continue to support Black business and support us. He's the DJ, she's the actress.
Yes,
Bobby?
yes, much appreciated. I'm gonna just reiterate what I talked about earlier. As my final word, I want people to balance out gratefulness with awareness, and ask and you shall receive. You are deserving. I want everybody to remember that, just for your own mental health and fulfillment. You can still expect and work and ask for more, even when people around you may be struggling and have less. Because once you get more, then you'll be in a position to bless other people around you, And so I think that if you're in the position to reach for more, then like I said, you'll be in the position to reach out and bless others. So keep asking, keep believing, keep praying, you know, and I think that good things will come. I want everybody to just remember that for your own mental health.
Absolutely. So, sis, I'm so proud of you. All your shows going on. I can't keep up. It's really hard. So we're going to have to put that in the group, your entire schedule, for people can view. But anyway, we want to thank Deja Vu. We want to thank Victorious DaCosta, for coming on the show. Next week, we're hoping to have some pretty special guests. We're not going to spill the beans just yet. We got to get some confirmations going. But be sure to tune in next week to He's the DJ and
She's the Actress.
Hey, let's go.
Hey.
DJ
John Quick, Bobby Baker, DJ John Quick, Bobby Baker.